After Xander does his intro, we'll hit record.
Oh, okay.
And then Raquel, do you want to start with the intro? So we can. All right. Thank you, Raquel. All right. Oh. Oh. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I am the program director of an organization called Girls Leap. And so Girls Leap is an organization that works in schools and community centers to teach self-defense skills, physical self-defense, and socio-emotional skills to youth ages 8 to 18. And then part of that is we have a paid teen mentor program. And during the summer, we do youth participatory action research of issues that the youth see in the community. So focusing on different issues, such as focus on health issues in the Black community this past year. And so these lovely things here are mentors from Girls and Youth. And then the follow-up with us is an alternative program at Charleston High School and a program that focuses a lot on uplifting Black and Brown identities through an alternative competency-based curriculum.
Excellent. Thank you, Raquel. And so now we'll kick it to Bijou.
Okay.
Go ahead. Take it away.
So, hello, my name is Bijou. My Bijou. Pronouns are she, her, hers. My experience in Boston, I have good and bad experiences. There are some nice people, and there's some. I feel like in Boston there is always this place where you go, a good place that's just really violent. So I realized that the youth places in Boston are like the YMCA. It costs to be there, and not everybody has the money to keep paying monthly. And so to have to pay for a youth place is like part of like the problem. I feel like that steers people to the local places because they don't really have anywhere to go. If that makes sense. Is there another question?
And if there was an ideal youth space, or you could, if you, if resources were an issue, and if there was a certain type of youth space that you would want to see in your neighborhood, what kind of youth space would that be?
A place that's just really open. That's not very strict, and that doesn't demand a lot, and that allows everyone in, not just like this and that. And like I also like need to address the problem with paying. So an ideal place wouldn't be as costly. You wouldn't have to demand monthly payments, and it would just be a free place where everybody can come and not feel like they're constantly being monitored.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Bijou. Ajane?
Hi, my name is Anjane, spelled Ajane. My pronouns are she and hers. And I grew up at Hyde Park. I've had a pretty good experience with the community center there. Um, when I was in like eighth grade, I got like introduced there because I wanted to just have a place to go after school and stuff. And I got introduced to the program director there. She passed away a few years later, but while she was still alive, she put me onto like a lot of good opportunities. Like I had things to do in the summer, and they were pretty much free, so that was nice. I mean, I agree with what Deidre said when like she said that it could also be free, but also there was like more donations, more money going into it. There would be more things that there are access to, like in the Hyde Park Community Center. Like I've been to Brookline Teen Center, and that's where I think you might have to pay. I don't know. They don't have to pay, and they get like free. They get a lot of stuff there. Like there's like a music studio, there's a bowling alley, there's a yoga studio, it's like a dance studio that's separate from the gym, and Hyde Park definitely doesn't have all of that. So just the things, the resources that you can get there, and like that being access to the free public, like there are a lot of people like just anybody that want to like manifest on any talents that they feel like they might have. So access to like a free music studio or something that could keep people busy and give them something to do for themselves. So that would be really nice to see in like low income communities.
Nice. What are some things that you like to do for fun? Um, or so what are some things that you like to do for fun? And are there any kind of spaces outside of your house or your home um, that kind of reflect what you like to do for fun that you think it might be neat if it was in your community?
I like to read.
Cool.
I like to sing. So maybe if I did take an interest in writing songs and stuff, I would know that there's a place that I could record it. Um, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Adonai. All right. I'm going to go to my right here to my good friend.
Hello, how y'all doing? My name is Jeremiah. These are pronouns he, his. What was the question again?
So the question is, what is your experience of spaces oriented towards youth in Boston? What do you like about them? What do you not like about them? What's missing? What do you wish was here?
And can you speak up?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got you.
make sure we can hear you on the Zoom.
So like community center nowadays, I feel like they don't worry about the kid really. Like they don't care about what's going on in that kid's life. You know what I'm saying? So if we could have like more like therapists or like guidance counselors in community centers that can talk to the kids about what's going on, that could help. I mean, and like they were saying, like community centers, like studios and gyms and all that will keep these kids off the streets and actually like get them to better themselves. You know what I'm saying? What was the second part of the question again?
And what do you wish was here in Boston? And so I'm curious about like you. So you, Jeremiah,
I wish.
what do you wish was here for
I agree
you?
with them when they said it was like too pricey. You know what I'm saying? Like not every parent has the money to pay for their kids to go after school, stay after school. You know what I'm saying? They gotta work that 9 to 5. So they could be like free, and then like the community centers. I know the Boys and Girls Club in Dorchester. They used to give rides to kids home after the community center was done. Like, so they could do that too instead of the parent worrying to have to pick up the kid at 7, 8 o'clock, or worrying about the kid to walk home at 7 to 8 o'clock. That'd be good too.
Cool. One more question, Jeremiah. What do you like to do for fun?
I like to play sports, basketball, football.
And you have spaces for that?
I mean, yeah, basketball courts are all around Boston. I mean, but like, I mean, as a kid though, like when you're young, parents don't want you to go to the basketball court by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So if kids had that place to be with adults around, obviously a change.
Cool. Thank you, Jeremiah. I'm gonna go in between to my good friend here. And why don't you pull up your chair a little bit? Introduce yourself, speak loud enough for the Zoom.
My name is Amaj, pronounced him.
Could you spell it?
Amaj. I don't really go to the community centers because I'm not going to buy pass for that. I don't feel like I should have to pay to go fool around, to mess around with my friends. And yeah, but other than that, I feel like that's where I would go. Why I feel like it's alright. There's nothing bad about it. I don't feel like they're overstrained. I don't feel like they're really lacking anything. Like it's alright.
Cool. Thank you, Amaj.
I was just curious, as what are you like doing?
What do you goes? Yeah. Thank you.
My name is Josh. When I was him, like my experiences in my neighborhood, it was good mostly. Like I had a good community center to go to. They gave me a lot of opportunities and different connections to like better myself better than now, like people that I know. I feel like what Jemai was saying with basketball courts and wouldn't let kids go out and like play golf or the fields and stuff, mostly because the environment isn't really safe. It's like you see junkies, you see gangbangers, you see whatever's going on. You want to let your child go over there. And about the why, about paying for the why, I feel like it's unnecessary because if the why is all about letting kids have a safe environment, why should you have to pay to have a safe environment?
Work. Thank you. What was your name again?
Joshua.
Joshua. Thank you, Joshua.
I'm not from
Could you spell that for me?
and I mean, I agree with Josh on the one part. Like, I understand, like, cause I know there's times I went in there, they tell me I have a membership, so they kick me out. But there's some people who let me go, so I appreciate that. But also, I feel like now, like, everything's really about money. I know life's about money, but I know, like, when I was younger, the community center was always open. Like, anybody could go and got a membership, and now they let people go. But I feel like now it's like there's more activities in there, but not activities where everybody's allowed. But it's like paid activities for these people's kids and only them that they pay for, so you can't be there, so you gotta go somewhere else. And I feel like I'm seeing that more everywhere I go.
Yeah.
More the girls' clubs, community centers, everything. And it's cool, whatever, but it's like if someone wanted to jump in or like wanted to play, if they was kids the same age, they wanted to play, I don't see why that would be a problem.
Yep.
That's a problem, I guess.
Cool. And what do you like to do for fun, Terrell?
I like to go, I like to play sports, I like to ride, like that.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Next. Can we see you? Want to scoot in a little bit so we can see you?
Hi, my name is Kelvin, spelled Kelvin. To be honest, I honestly feel like, especially in Roxbury and like the Dorchester area, our youth is dying. It's a lot of drugs on the streets, it's a lot of guns on the streets, it's a lot of violence happening. And you know, to piggyback off what they were saying, it makes no sense for the community centers to make kids pay crazy prices all year round, different payments, just for them to be in a safe area. There was 6 different cases last month having to do with kids. 5 deaths. 2 people left in critical condition. The streets is just not safe right now. He said outdoor courts, Washington Park is already known for murders, finding guns at the court, under the trash can, in the bushes. It's dangerous, and it's not going to get better unless these communities loosen up and actually apply pressure on making it good for kids, making them want to come to the community center. Because you're not doing that if you're telling them, okay, you got to pay $60 this month, go get it, knowing that their mother could barely put food in the fridge. So it's like, you know, there's a lot going on, and I feel like our community, our leaders, we got to do way better. Proofs in the pudding. It's getting crazy on here. Make a move now.
Thank you, Kelvin. And what do you like to do for fun?
I like to play football. I'm a comedian. I like to laugh a lot. Yeah, I like to joke around.
Cool. Thank you. All right. Ready? Give you a couple of minutes.
My name is Charity Everett. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I'm here with Bill Singleton from UNLR. I'm looking to hear from young people. We're looking to open a community center. And so we're interested in hearing what you're into.
Nice. Okay.
It's free.
Cool. So this has been, I think this is a nice segue into some Q&A. And I know you had a question, but could I exercise some privilege and ask a question? Because I know a couple of the speakers. So y'all may or may not remember, it may or may not be in the forefront of your memory, but we did a youth assembly last year. And so we said, what are the businesses you love, businesses you want to see, businesses you want to replace? Do you remember? I think you were there too, Kelvin, but I can't remember. Do you remember? Yeah, it was at UCB. Yeah, yep, you were there. So do y'all remember some of the businesses that were named in terms of what you love, and some of the businesses that were named in terms of what you want to see, and some of the businesses in terms of what you want to replace? Because I think that would be interesting for this conversation as well.
Oh, really? But I remember some of the specific
Do you want to just say what you remember?
I remember they put up hair salons, like hair stores, and they did like black-owned businesses, like the Ripley Cafe down here in Ashmont. Yeah, so
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. And then one thing I remember, Jeremiah, an idea that you've brought up that I always loved is you talked about a free gym, right? So this kind of goes along with the conversation about community centers and how much they cost, et cetera. So cool. Amaj, what do you remember? And specifically the youth part, because there was a part where it was the parents, your parents in an assembly, but then there was a part where it was just you all, just you. Okay. All right. That's cool. Kelvin, you remember?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
All right. Cool. All right. So thank you. So now we can open it up for questions. And I know you had a question.
But I mean, I noticed that we sort of, I wanted to ask you what did you do for fun? What did you do?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I like liquidation. I like football. Being around friends, hang out. I like games. I like video games.
And then generally, like the young ladies here, I wanted to ask you, if you have a limited space, say you don't have a space for, say, a basketball, space, say, for basketball, football, whatever. What other sort of things like software or games? What other things would you want to see in the community center? You said you like to read. You said that you were concerned about the cost. Suppose the cost was wiped off the table. What are some of the things that you could see at, say, a technology sort of boot camp? Would you like that kind of thing? A technology sort of boot camp. Computers, learning how to write code, learning how to.
Well, like you said, you like to play video games. Would you like to learn how to make video games?
Yeah.
I'll give it to you. Yeah, that would be. So you're saying basically like have like a coding, somebody that codes there to help kids to learn the code.
Yeah,
Okay.
creating games, augmented reality.
Learn how to make stuff. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Is there a question?
I just want to hear our response.
Yes, I think that would definitely be amazing, and it will also help the people later.
Like programs that last a certain amount of weeks, I should be committed to in summer. A lot of people don't want to be doing summer.
Right.
They have to pay. So like, if you could get them to commit to learn certain things,
Right.
like, I know that they're like places where you can learn Arabic for 6 weeks.
I didn't hear that last one. I'm sorry.
I know that there are places where you can learn like Arabic for 6 weeks, or you could go to like a camp. So things like that.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, so let's spread around the questions. Anybody on Zoom have any questions?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead, Louise. What's your question?
I want to know, I'm saying too, I couldn't hear too well.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, Louise.
Yeah, and also I want to know how much the community centers charge the kids.
How much do the community centers charge?
Charge the kids depends on what community center.
And Hyde Park, it's $5 for the year.
What?
So Ajane, if you weren't able to hear us, said in Hyde Park it's $5 for the year, but they're also saying it depends on which community center. YMCA is $25 a month. BCYF? Okay, BCYF is what Ajane was referencing. YMCA is $25 a month. That's pricey.
Yeah, $250, $300.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Sure.
So I'm old fashioned. So I'm a big believer. Well, also y'all are older, because we're saying youth or we're saying kids, but I feel like some things that have come up before is, I feel like you've said this, Jeremiah, that there are spaces for people from like really young to probably like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, maybe even. But then it seems like there aren't really a lot of things for people between that age and 21. Because then 21 and up, then there's a whole bunch of stuff.
It really isn't.
Do you still? So for your age group, what would you want to see? And how old are you?
I mean, I'm 18,
Mhm.
so about people my age, they're worried about they're dropping out of school. They're worried about getting some money, putting food in the fridge. You know what I'm saying? So I think like for people my age, we should have more jobs that would help, like how we said, like coding, and then put like an HVAC program or something like that, so people can like actually like get to know what their future is gonna look like. You know?
Something you learn at school.
Cool. Any other thoughts on that? Could y'all talk about your age and what you want to see? What would you like to see very specifically for your age group? Do you have something, Anjana?
I'm 16, I'm a sophomore, and I'm also a stepping stone scholar. So right now I have access to like tutoring on every Saturday, and I have access to like college advisors. So like if there's anything that I need, I could go to them. They can help me fill out for any like scholarships. They can help me with all my essays and applications. Like there are people that will take time to work with me, and not everybody has access to that. It's a nonprofit organization. I didn't have to pay, but it's limited space. So if that could be widely accessible, and things like career building skills where like you can go to like an office and they can help find you a job, or they can help you with applying for money, all of that. Like there are places out there, but more would be better.
Okay. Cool. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yep.
Also with like.
And how old are you?
Oh, I'm 18, also with stepping stone. They also have like SAT and ACT practice, and that also goes a long way. And like nobody has to pay for like a tutor or has to like pay for this test, and they can just get this.
Cool. Any other questions on Zoom, in the room?
Things like team night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's that? Tell me about that. Ooh. Team night?
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know about anywhere else, but I know at the Y, and a couple times when I went up to New Hampshire with my dad, it was like a night at like the Y or whatever, for like just teams to hang out, laptop. It was the desktop, the gym, whatever. In school,
Nice.
like chill.
Yeah, and they usually pick like a day that is like closed early.
Friday.
Like Friday, yeah.
Teen nights usually on Fridays. On the way Roxbury did it, it was like the way Roxbury did it, it was like teen night is usually from 7:30 to 12. But it's like when mature kids like 16 to the age of 19, because they're still teens. So what they do is they would leave the weight room open with supervision, of course. The gym would be open with supervision. And they would like give out food, have activities in the side rooms, activities for like in the computer lab. So those kids who aren't like much active, that like to use technology.
Yeah.
So it's just like it was like an opportunity for everybody basically just to come have fun and enjoy themselves after hours, kind of.
Yeah.
You know?
Cool. And so they don't do that anymore?
They don't do that no more. Yeah, and they used to give rides as well. They used to give rides home.
Okay.
As well, so it's like, it was a real committed group. They don't do that.
Cool. Interesting. Thank you. You have any other questions?
But why did it stop? I mean,
there's really no reason. One day we just came and they just said it stopped.
Wow.
So
no money. They
probably funding.
Probably funding.
Yeah.
Having drivers. There was one guy, he did it. The one at Roxbury, he did it for like 30 years. So he's been doing it. And I guess, at that point, it's like, it's personal, what you want to do for your community. Because I understand no grown-up wants to be surrounded by a bunch of teenagers.
I sure don't.
For a few hours, and then have to drop them off. Some of them might live in Dorchester, some of them might live around the corner, some of them might live in West Roxbury.
Right.
Yeah, it's different.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering, I'm thinking a lot about cultural programming because I'm an art teacher, but one thing I'm thinking about is if there's any creative or non-creative hobbies and things that you want to try and feel like you've not had the opportunity or the invitation to try them.
Did y'all hear that question? That's a good question.
If you want to if there's any creative or non-creative hobbies and things you want to try and maybe haven't tried them because you haven't had the invitation or the opportunity.
So Ajane
Very
has
important.
something, and then it looks like Calvin and Jeremiah has something too. Ajane?
Raquel's not from here, but something that she's brought to my attention is that people that live in Boston, like you, especially me, well, I'm speaking for myself, but it's like there's a lot that I don't know about Boston's history and also like Black Boston's history and like how things came to be and just Black history in general. Like, about it a little bit, but I also want to know like what type of policies were put in place, like how the demographics work to create what we have today, so we can understand our environment better. And I think that that would be very beneficial for a lot of kids. And also, like if there could be like teams in the community center, like a step team and a games team, because now like everybody can get into the school. And I would love to do stuff. And I think
Cool, thank you, Ajane. And Jeremiah, you had a response to Abby's question, and so did you, Calvin.
So her question was, what like teens my age, like what we haven't did creatively.
Yeah, and what you want to try if you had the opportunity.
I kind of want to like do like a mural, like on like one of those big walls, like a fancy place that like a lot of people go to. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
You know, like actually like do something like make it look real nice.
Yeah, nice. Thank you, Jeremiah. Calvin?
One thing that came to my attention was, one thing that came to my attention was like, you know, there's a lot of people around us that speak different languages and they do different places. And I was thinking like a day where everybody came together and brought something and talked about presentations or just whatever they have to show for their background. It'd be amazing to see all these different cultures and different people in one place.
Cool. Thank you, Calvin. Terrell?
So the community center you guys tell me where is it located?
Oh, 90 Windsor Street, so it's a little bit down there at the edge of Roxbury. If you know where Dudley is, or now it's called Nubian Square. We are right on near Cass and Tremont. And we have some land there that we're going to put a building on for housing, for social events like what you're talking about, and then an economic basement for training people. We think it's very important to train young people particularly, because they're going to be leaders in the future, how to do that and to have the basis for that. So we have a garden there. We're going to have a garden and we're financing a kitchen, a teaching kitchen, and we want to involve high technologies. We can't do everything. We can't, I mean, I see the need for having like a weight room and basketball. We might be able to do the weight room, but it's not built for a basketball court.
I think the weight room was a good idea.
Yeah, weight room is a good idea. And there might be, it's not the only part of the first development, it was a challenge, but we can expand, and in that next expansion, we can include some of those things you're talking about.
Ajane has something, and then I wanted to make sure I'm checking in on Zoom, make sure if anyone has any questions or comments on Zoom.
building off of what Kelvin said, like something that he reminded me is that like with the languages thing, I'm gonna just American Sign Language.
Yeah.
And I think when people get paid extra money, you know, that like, so that would also like relate to the proverbial skills. I think that not a lot of people possess. Like that's a unique thing that may actually get a job. You know.
Cool. Thank you, Ajane. Checking in on Zoom. Anybody have any questions?
If there's anything you can do to improve the sound, that would be good, because I can't really engage with a conversation if I can't hear what people are saying.
Okay, I'm turning up the speaker. How is it now?
It's been what I could hear of what people were saying sounded really good. That's all I can say.
Okay, thank you, Sky. All right, Terrell.
The community center is like something big with like field trip.
Ooh.
For example, like over the summer, I did something I usually don't do, and so I'm usually like an athlete kid or hanging out with my friends. I went camping this summer. And I was like smiling and like, why you bringing me here? I want to do this. But I did it, and it like I didn't have my home for like 4 days. It was feel mad different.
Yeah.
I like that. I enjoyed it. So I'm just saying like trying things for field trips. I think.
Very cool. Yeah.
I never know. Like, you was in New Hampshire, you ain't hearing not one siren.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you hearing birds really chirp.
Yeah. Yep.
You see the stars.
On the stars, yeah, when the sun drops, so you see the stars. Like,
Yep.
you gotta go to the highest point in the rock bed, see some stars.
Cool. I think what I like about that idea is also thinking about camping trips throughout the year. Because a lot of times when you think about camp, you think about summer. But thinking about what it could be like at different times of the year would be cool. Yeah.
Skiing.
Yeah.
And there's actually this organization in Boston through the AMC, the Youth Opportunities Program, which I took them camping. But for any youth serving group, if you do a training with them, which is like $120, then you can borrow all gear for free forever.
Oh, wow.
And they have like everything to backpacking trips, camping. They have clothing, backpacks, tents, everything.
Nice.
What's the name of it again?
The AMC Youth Opportunities Program, which is the Appalachian Mountain Club.
Oh, yeah, that's what.
The Appalachian, what does it stand for?
The Appalachian Mountain Club.
Appalachian Mountain Club. Cool. All right. Any other questions, thoughts? We have a few more minutes. Okay. I mean, it was a good conversation. We can wrap it up here. Oh, yep.
Yeah, I want to say thank you. To
Make sure we can see you.
I want to say thank you to all you for inviting us and taking the time to listen to what we have to say.
Oh, thank you, Kelvin. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I wanted to say a little bit.
Yeah, Josh.
Piggyback on what Jeremiah said, he said he wanted to do something creative as a mural, but I would like the murals to be like empowering to send a message, not to just be like.
Yeah. Word. Cool. Dope.
Are you familiar with the mural that's done over there by the piano factory?
Piano factory.
Okay, at Tremont and Mass Avenue. A black guy did a mural there, right across from the church. Here. And
it's on Tremont and
Mass Avenue.
Okay.
Now, Artists for Humanities is identifying people to do murals. You know, the first time someone, I don't want to talk bad about the other person did a mural because, you know, people do their best, but it wasn't what we needed. You know, so we need people from, you know, the neighborhood who understand that particular neighborhood to maybe write and draw the things that they think are important.
And have y'all heard of Pro Black? Yeah.
Love him.
Have y'all heard of Pro Black?
Person.
There's if you Google him, Pro Black, there's a bunch of articles about him because he's done quite a few murals.
Yeah.
Around.
There's one by the Roxbury Wine. It's Our Brother's Keeper. And it's like, you know, it's like two older black figures and two younger children on the wall. I feel like, you know, that represents a lot.
Yeah.
So that's,
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Dope. And then have y'all, one more thing, have y'all heard of BAMS Fest? Okay.
Oh, love
so
that.
you want to check out BAMS Fest this year because they do a whole mural thing where they have a bunch of people painting murals that are not wall level, they're a little smaller. But you want to check that out because you could probably have an opportunity to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, the teachers, the people there love like handing people spray cans.
Yeah.
Saying go for it.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Cool. Well, thank you all so much. Thank you, Kelvin. Thank you, Terrell. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Ramon. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, Ajane. Thank you, Bijou.
And we want to thank you.
So much.
We want to thank you for conducting it. Thank you.
I do this every week.
You too.
All right, we're gonna stop. Oh, we gotta stop the recording.
Yeah.
I was gonna stop it myself, but I don't think I can.
We have an artist here.
Yeah.
I think he has.
Yes.
Yeah. I could go on a mural.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Wow.